What up, y'all? It's your boy KevOnStage. Welcome to Not My Best Moment at the Super Bowl. Today we have Big E, ladies and gentlemen. Clap it up, studio audience.
Thank you. We've come a long way from the bathroom at the NAACP Image Awards a couple of years ago.
We absolutely have
nothing weird happened, for the record.
No,
just a handshake and hello.
Regular hello.
I know who you are, and I am a fan of you.
It was
mutual, yes.
Black man acknowledgement.
Right. Nothing else.
Hello.
Yes, that's it.
But you've been doing amazing things since then. Big E, congratulations on everything. You're super creative.
That coming from you, you know what? Thank you.
You're welcome.
You got all the jobs. I'm about to say,
got
you know,
all the
yeah,
jobs.
You took them all.
You got all the jobs too, though.
I'm trying to get like you.
You be in the awards. You be WWE. And you have a new show coming called The Evaluation.
Yes, sir.
Tell us about The Evaluation. I'm a huge sports fan. I don't know if you know, they had talked about inviting me to the Combine.
What,
Just like people were like, you know what, Kev, you know, just as like an outside prospect, edge rusher.
Oh, you're
yeah. You know,
you'll play a wide nine. You gonna play a nine technique. Yeah.
You know, hand in the ground,
right.
Big wide.
I need to see it. I need to see you running
drills.
drills.
The swim move.
Right.
Okay, it's all violent hands.
Violent.
It's violent hands. Yeah. And it's here.
Right.
It's
that's
like,
your go-to pass rush move.
Now, if you stop me there, I don't really got much. I don't have no speed.
Right.
If I go east and you block me,
it's done.
It's over.
All right, okay. So The Evaluation comes out February 12th, and man, it was such an honor. College football is my baby. That is my first love since I was a kid. So it really was an honor to be able to host a show. So it is marrying. Having conversations with these former NFL scouts and GMs. I'm talking Mike Mayock, John Idzik, Jeff Robinson, Eric Stokes. So many of these guys who've been doing scouting, evaluating college talent for years and years. So we sit down with them. We go through all positions. So we're breaking down every single position, all 10 episodes. And we're getting that analysis. We also have a round table. But I also got to talk to Marshall Faulk, Eli Manning, Joe Thomas. I'm talking Pro Football Hall of Famers, Super Bowl MVPs, and got their insight as well. So we're breaking down this year's draft class.
Yeah.
And also marrying that with Sumer Sports, their AI, their technology, to really look at the game in a way that we really haven't seen before. So it's marrying the technology and the scouting expertise as well to talk about this year's draft class. So for any of y'all who are trying to figure out who your NFL team is going to take in the first round, or maybe what value there might be in the later rounds, this is a great way to learn more about those prospects. And I really just think for football fans, it's going to be a really unique way. And man, like we sit down with so many brilliant minds in the football space.
Yeah. So I think for me, it's really interesting because obviously I'm a huge football fan. All I really know is, 40-yard dash, bench press, cone drill, all that type of stuff. The NFL outside of that has, we never really understood how they evaluate talent. You could be, Joe Flacco and Josh Allen was at Wyoming. Joe Flacco was Delaware State, I believe.
Delaware.
Yeah. So it's like these scouts know something we don't know.
Right.
Because these players, it's not all Power 5 players. The NFL is HBCUs all the way up to the Power 5. How different is this show from anything else we haven't known? Like how behind the veil are the audience members going to be able to get?
You're spot on, because the scouts often talk about, everyone has their own proprietary secrets. They're always trying to keep it to themselves.
Yeah.
One of the things that was really eye-opening to me is how much the scouts value interviews. They always said it's interviews. So obviously everything else, when you're talking about the combine, you're talking about these pro days, the measurables, they're all a part of the equation. Production, obviously on field during the season, in your college careers, that matters too. But they talk about what it's like they want to talk to the janitor in the building. They want to talk to
janitor.
Yeah. One of the scouts tells this great story of being at Michigan years ago. Drew Henson is the starter, but the janitor pulls him aside and says, look, Drew Henson's the guy right now, but there's a lot of buzz in the building about this young guy named Tom Brady. You should check him out.
Really?
And that, to me, that was so eye-opening, because the scouts are, when you're talking to a janitor, it's, because that dude knows all the secrets. He knows how people move. He knows whether guys show up on time, how they work, how they treat other people as well. So that's what I love, too, is getting the insight from the scouts to understand not only are they looking at numbers, height, weight, speed, all those things, but they also want to know about character. They want to better understand whether a guy, when he gets that big bag, is he going to blow it? Is he going to do something stupid? Is he going to work hard? Is he going to show up on time? So for me, that was the big takeaway, is I didn't realize how much they put into interviewing not just the player, but the people around them as well.
That's so interesting because one of the things that the media said about Shedeur dropping to the 5th round was based on the interviews.
Yes.
And most of us have, done job interviews, but, that's just like, how well do you work with people? What are some of your strengths and weaknesses type of stuff? So I was curious, like, what happened in these interviews?
Same.
So it's really interesting that they're not just interviewing the player, but the mental aspect is a huge part of the game. I'm curious, how does AI work, right? You said the show marries AI and traditional scouting. How does that – I saw a commercial where he's like, AI was like, tell me the top 5 linebackers who did X, Y, and Z, and they were using that. But how does it work in the evaluation?
So if you're like me, when I hear AI, my first thing is like, I don't know how I feel about this.
Yeah.
But it's not an LLM, and we're not replacing people.
Yeah.
It's not scrubbing people's work. It really is just the best way. They're collecting so much data. And what I love is, when we first started talking about me hosting this job, Sumer Sports took me through their AI. And the incredible thing is they can measure whether a guy takes a false step, on a play action. How quickly does a guy recover from a false step? So the AI is really able to measure. It's like seeing all 22 players on the field. It's able to measure every single movement. It's able to measure tendencies and take all that data and put it together and predict what they're going to do on the next play action or on a deep pass. So the AI is used in that manner, and it's also used when looking at college players as well and just breaking down every element of their game, what they do. It's a way to determine their IQ on the field, reaction time. It really just can measure every single thing done on a football field. So as soon as they broke down the tech and how it's used, I was so impressed with its use in scouting and recruiting and all elements of the game.
So I love that because, again, I've been a sports fan a long time. And, early on, I felt like the talking heads knew more than me. They had insight. And then it became hot take culture.
Yes.
And I've kind of like, all right, everything is
same.
I just like, I don't care. Everything is black and white. He's either Hall of Fame or bust. And it just doesn't work like that.
Yep.
So it seems like the evaluation has not taken that approach.
Right.
How's it different?
No, I'm with you too, man. The era of talking heads making their points to be, whether it's clickbaity or to get people talking, that's not for me. I want analysis from the very best. And that's what the show is. It's not people arguing at a table. It's experts sitting around. Like I love one of my favorite parts of the show is the round table portion at the end of the show. Mm-hmm. And we sit down. And so Ruben Bay, coming out of Miami, one of my favorite players.
Yes.
But one of the things that struck me is Booger McFarland says, look, his arms are going to be sub 35 inches.
I saw that.
He's not. He might be a game wrecker at defensive end in college, but he's got to kick inside a DT. So my thing is, I want to sit down and actually hear from the scouts is, how much do y'all really value arm length? If the tape is there, the measurables are there, everything else is there, how much does that really come into play? So you're not getting a lot of clickbaity arguments. You're not getting hot takes. You're getting real expertise because I want to hear, hey, was there another prospect who also had short arms who was a baller on the next level? Right.
Was one of the guys they thought who had short. He's like one of the outliers that they said had short arms but was able to do it. But he's not the norm.
Right. And again, like I was a short defensive lineman, so when Dumerville came out of Louisville, I loved his game. I wanted to see how he did. So we get to have those conversations where guys are able to use their experience in the scouting world and talk about that and apply it to the players coming out now.
I love this. I think if you're a tremendous fantasy player as well, especially if you're like in the legendary mode where you like draft these people and you got to stick with them, it seems like you'll probably have an edge based on your friends who are not watching the evaluation.
Yeah, and Sumer Sports too, they have the tech that if you're into fantasy, they have tech that'll help you set your lineup as well for fantasy. So that's huge. But man, we talk about players, we talk about the big, power 4 guys, but we talk about small school guys. We talk about D2 guys as well. So there are a lot of guys. If you love college football, there might be some guys coming out of the draft that you've never heard of, and this is such a great way to catch you up on the next crop of guys who are going to take over the league.
This is fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, the evaluation, tell us when it starts airing.
February 12th, again on Sumer Sports YouTube page. The show is The Evaluation, but our premiere is February 12th, shortly after the Super Bowl.
After the Super Bowl, check it out with Big E. I'm going to be checking it out. Big E's great on the mic. Okay, I don't know if y'all know. He's also hella strong. Okay, just like me, 225.
I see
on
you.
the bench.
I see you, though.
Okay, I actually haven't been able to do it in a while. I don't know what's wrong.
Hey, you just got to do the one time. You post the video,
Once I
and
did
you're
it.
good. It don't matter. It's over. You
You
did it.
can't see me. I can't rep it no more for whatever reason.
You did it one time.
I
That's all
did
that
it
matters,
one time,
man. That's
baby.
all that
You
matters.
better get like your boy. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Big E, not my best moment. Check out the evaluation coming right after the Super Bowl 10 episodes. See you next time.